Hey there, darling Sophanista. The Mermaid's necklace. So in our story, the mermaids don't have eyes. Not eyes like you and me. They just have like eye sockets. But they see through the aquamarine leaves. How cool is that? We are creating a historical fiction fantasy novel that is set in 500s AD Constantinople, aka Eastern Roman Empire, aka Byzantium. Each principal character is going to have jewelry that's very significant to them and significant to the story too. Theodora was real. She ended up becoming empress of the entire Eastern Roman Empire. And she had an amazing life. But we've added in some fantasy that makes it even more amazing. She was the child of circus performers. That didn't mean like big top circus, like da 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 da. No. What that meant is that her parents worked in the hippodrome. Her father was the bear keeper, so he took care of like the exotic wild animals. When she was 9 years old, he was mauled by a bear. Okay, so this would be in the year 509, 510. And in the Eastern Roman Empire at that time, women could not generate revenue for their homes. They could not create an income. They couldn't open a business, for example, or they couldn't own their house. What did Theodora and her two sisters and her mom have to do? The only way for her to get income for her household was for her and her older sister to become members of the theater. The theater was really a place of ill repute. Actors and actresses, actually up until like the 19th century, were not allowed to even go to church. They couldn't walk the streets. They couldn't take communion. They couldn't like participate in regular daily life. So going into the theater was like a big deal because you would be secluded the rest of your life. Here she is, 11, 12 years old. She becomes a member of the theater. By the time she becomes really good at it, she's like fabulous on stage. Remember, this is all real life. She's got this interesting act that we are going to be writing about. By the time she was 17 years old, she became the mistress of a Roman governor. Her guy was the governor of Pentapolis, which was a region in northern Africa. As a mistress, she didn't have very many rights, so to speak, but she was a fighter. She ended up leaving that man. She ends up after that going to Alexandria, which is when she becomes a spy for the empire, which is also true. I'm not going to give you too much of the story. But the important thing to know is that one day she does become empress. She meets Justinian at a party, like literally within weeks. She's living with him in the imperial palace. And he ends up marrying her within about 2 years. He had to have the laws changed so that he could marry an ex-prostitute, an ex-actress. The real story is filled with intrigue, but we've added in jewels. When she's taking that trip from Constantinople to North Africa, she's alone on the ship, and it's really tough for her. But at that moment, she hears the sirens sing. So they'll be swimming through the ocean, and they are going to see through this aquamarine, which is carved, by the way. How gorgeous. And the leaves evoke the seaweed. Also wear the piece as a bracelet. Just wrap it around, wrap the leather around. Now there's a slider up and down. This is Greek glass. I will tell you that when you get the piece, when you move the slider, hold on to the leather. Don't pull from here because it's silk and the beads are kind of, well, they're not delicate, but you can't mud wrestle in them. My darlings, I want to bring back the headband. I mean, look at this. How cool does this look? Jewelry is meant to adorn you and make you feel beautiful, right? I love this headband. I want to bring back headbands. Do it with me. This is my favorite way to wear it. It's also great for layering. Like, look how I have this little blue topaz and diamond piece. It frames another necklace so beautifully. And it's a showstopper. I've worn it in different places. I've had strangers stop me and tell me about this necklace. That feels so great. Look, it's been 4 years since we started writing this book. And I just want to thank you for all of your encouragement and your kind words. They mean the world to us. And it's kind of the engine that keeps us going. I mean, apart from the fact that we both love writing this book. So feel beautiful, darlings. Feel beautiful in our very first piece that's coming from the book. Thank you so much again for all the loving kindness surrounding this labor of love. Feel beautiful, darlings. Feel beautiful.